It's good to see you today, Ralph. Diana mentioned here that home price growth is slowing down. Where are the prices slowing down, and where are there actually markets heating up, assuming that there are?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we've seen home price growth slow for about 10 straight months now, and that's the longest streak we've seen in 6, 7, 8 years. And in particular, home price growth is slowing most along the costly coast. So places like Seattle, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, and Denver, they've all seen their home price growth cut in half over a year, and that's pretty much unprecedented. Other places where we're actually seeing home prices heat up are in places that we've called the bargain belt. So in particular, places like Dallas and Minneapolis, areas that didn't exactly lead us out of the housing market recovery, but now are really sort of going full steam.
When we talk about all of this demand for smaller, more affordable starter homes, are we seeing construction following that trend, going in that direction? Because for so long, it seems like all the new construction has been on the upscale, high-end part of the market.
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking, home builders really haven't ever provided starter homes in mass. In certain places they have. They've always tended to cater towards the higher end. Now that being said, we are seeing prices, the median price of new homes, and the size, most importantly, start to come down a bit. And we think that is partly because we are an affordability problem. And so if home builders have built enough homes on the high end, well, the next best market to build for is the middle end. And so we're starting to see that come down. However, we don't think new supply is actually going to be targeted at that starter home level. What we really need is those that own starter homes, and in particular investors who may have bought these homes up in 2011, 2012, maybe think about putting those houses on the market, because that is really what the true starter home is.
It's interesting too, because of course materials costs have increased and labor is very expensive right now as well. So those home builders have to consider those costs. With the tight supply in this starter home, are more people renting?
Surprisingly, despite these headwinds, we are actually seeing the homeownership rate increase. And in particular, we are seeing the homeownership rate increase for young households, in particular millennials. And that's actually very, very good news for the housing market, just because there's a lot of them. And when this cohort really starts to buy homes in mass, people are going to notice on the ground. And that's what we're starting to see. So that is actually tentatively good news for the housing market, despite the fact that they're still owning homes at rates lower than their older counterparts.
Because we've had such a strong housing market for such a long time now, are you starting to look at recession on the horizon?
We are seeing signs maybe the economy is slowing down. If I knew when a recession was going to hit, I'd be retired in a very warm, sandy location. But the expansion is getting a little long in the tooth. We don't see any immediate signs that there's going to be a recession this year or next. But in 2021 and beyond, we are seeing increasing probabilities that a recession will hit. And
what about the tax reform? Has that affected housing in areas with high property taxes? I'm thinking California, New York, New Jersey.
Certainly those areas have seen a slowdown, and some of that could be because of these new tax laws. However, we don't know what the exact impact will be, because not everyone has filed their tax return yet. So we know that owning expensive homes is going to cost more from a tax perspective, but we don't know whether those households are going to get a net overall tax decrease in their liability. And so, it could be that even though their house is going to cost more, if they're getting a bigger or a lower tax liability, they may be better off at the end of the year.